So a new rendition today. Um, United States working on a refund process for some of the Wi-Fi towers built in the external. Um, Rural Alaska is keeping a small abundance of them for the bush Alaska. For the main of Anchorage, it might be possibly eliminated, other than maybe a few select towers. It's 2G, I believe, or a maximum of 3G legally in the city, and then 4G, 5G networks are being refunded. The residual towers, going back some to Bush, Alaska, a little bit, and then local satellite returning. They figured to go with satellite, and my constituents and myself decided that satellite was a better version for wildlife. Currently, the radio has not affected the tundra accordingly to wildlife propagation and keeping people alive in rural villages. I guess the winters have just been more and more harsh due to it. So government is removing them. The geese flocks and flights. When it became radio function, Facebook thought that it would be a great idea to use mind control on animals to see if it would work in helping them migrate, like a hand-controlled goose flying through a radio tower. And it was kind of a neat idea, but it didn't work at all. The reason being is because when a goose is flying way up high and they pass two towers equally, it lefts and rights the magnet and it confuses them. It's like one of those NFC chips for your phone that stays on all the time. It's just a living field ground. So the problem is the goose from the ground up, if they radio tag them, a lot of times they like veer slightly right and then all of a sudden left and then a little bit right. So government got an issue stated to them to cease and desist order, because you can kind of, tax people, in a manner as such where it's like you're training them to do something. But when it comes to raw nature, like, you will shut the fuck up. Okay? Because, down south they tried to, like planogram nature, and then nature disappeared. The only thing they have is little fucking zoo animals they let out every day. And it's important to have a wild next to civilization. New York learned this when they wiped out damn near every fucking animal there except for the pigeon. You know what I mean? Nature didn't find a way. It was like peregrine falcon and pigeon. Other than that, most of your wild horses are in upstate. Pretty much all your bison were wiped the fuck out. You extinct about 3-4 species there. No one gave a fuck. The rest of them, you do like little wildlife reserves, and you put them on this little island, like, here's your space in between the river where we know mankind doesn't go, if that's any inclination. But for the state of Alaska, we don't give a fuck. We just let the geese fly around. You know what I mean? For the most part, because that random assessment is, there's two types in a predator, where if you're going to tell a predator where the prey is by way of random, like it's a caribou, they're nomadic animals, they just walk around, and then you off one, okay? That's kind of a luck of the draw towards the animal and you, okay? Where it gets into sick, kind of fucked up sciences is where they go, well, we know exactly where the animal's at, okay? And not only that, we're going to steer this animal towards you with a little mind control. And you look at these people, you're like, you really, like, you fucking sick bitch. Like, that's where mankind took it a bit too far, even on their own food resources. That's what the cow is. The cow is just something we just put bullets through and fucking shoot them and eat them and don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Some places have national forests and wildlife reserves, like here. Like here, that's our selling point. You know what I mean? You're like, hey, you want to come to a place where government didn't fuck shit up? You know what I mean? That's why we keep it a third the size of the fucking United States and mostly wild. Okay? The scenery is unparalleled. Okay? And the nature is raw. We allow certain areas to have roads and other areas not to have roads, because it is that motherfucking important. Some places up on Prudhoe Bay, it's illegal to touch the tundra, like, at all. You know what I mean? So the roads that they place there, I mean, you can kind of imagine how motherfucking expensive those were. Okay. Not only that, where the fuck do you get the gravel on tundra? Like, it's a floating fucking marsh. You know what I mean? So not only you gotta break the fucking law to get there, you gotta break the fucking law to build there, and then the ecological standards are so fucking high that it's like, you're pretty much just, we just charge you for fucking everything for doing anything there. You know what I mean? Like, it's strict, bitch. Like, in the summertime, if you walk out past a man camp and you see one fucking piece of trash, like just a little candy wrapper, like, that's like $1,000 fine. Okay? And here's the difference. Like, some places down south, they're like, oh, $1,000 fine, I throw shit out all fucking time. Right? They never charge me for it. Yeah, up there, they just charge the whole man camp. Like, for every fucking piece at $25 an hour for a roustabout. That means that motherfucker will go out there and will pick that shit up and will not fuck his job up. And that motherfucker will bring that piece of fucking trash here, and we're gonna look at this candy wrapper and see what fucking brand name brought their dipshit fucking ass into my state. And that fucking idiot, okay, gets charged an extra $1,000 from our state to your fucking company just to tell you to fuck off our shit. Then this fucking kid gets $25 an hour to actually take that piece of trash and put that in the bin. Okay? Then we have to fly that fucking trash the fuck out of the fucking tundra. Then we fly that trash down south into a regular landfill where it's actually accurate to be thrown away correctly. Did you understand what the fuck I said to you? Okay, so when being a dipshit here about ecological wildlife, just recognize, gang, that we will fucking serve the fuck out of you and don't give a shit. So when it comes to these fucking, giggity smartphone Wi-Fi towers, like, we're going to tear them the fuck down. Like, 3 out of 5 are going down, and no one gives a fuck. Okay? We're going to grind them up and recycle them. Okay? And the state's just going to confiscate them. Like, who gives a fuck? We're going to grind them up, and they're going to the fucking recycling center, and they'll be placed into raw material mesh, and we're just going to sanction the fucking materials. We don't give a fuck. After that, those aftermaths will be used to build our own basic, like, circuit board center, where we will take our own and your own fucking materials for misbuilding them, grind them the fuck up, and build our own. Public service announcement. You have a wonderful day. Tangy Productions.